The email hit my inbox like a Molotov cocktail. Cease all vineyard operations by 5 p.m. or face penalties. I laughed, thinking it was a prank. Who sends a threat like that to a winemaker in Napa Valley, where the soil itself smells like legacy? I'm Clara Voss, third-generation winemaker at Voss Vineyards, a 20-acre gem nestled in California's wine country. My family's been coaxing magic from these vines since the 1940s, turning grapes into bottles that grace Michelin-starred tables. My days are spent in dirt-stained boots, tasting tannins, and chasing the perfect vintage. Life was good until the HOA showed up. It started innocently enough. A navy blue van rolled up my gravel driveway one crisp October morning, spitting out 3 strangers in matching uniforms with HOA stitched in tacky yellow letters. The leader, a guy with a buzz cut and a smirk that screamed petty tyrant, introduced himself as Greg Tanner, president of the Napa Hills Homeowners Association. He handed me a clipboard thick with citations. My vineyard was non-compliant with their rules: too many vines, unapproved signage, and, get this, excessive grape odor. I nearly choked. Grape odor in Napa. There's no HOA here, I said, folding my arms. This land's been ours for decades. You're barking up the wrong tree, pal. Greg's smirk widened. Check your mailbox. Ms. Voss. We're new, and we're serious. Fix this, or we'll fine you into oblivion. They left, tires crunching, leaving me with a sinking feeling. That night, I found their letter in my inbox, official-looking letterhead and all, demanding I uproot half my vines or pay $10,000 in fines. My blood boiled. This wasn't just an annoyance, it was war. The next week was a nightmare. Greg and his goons returned daily, each time with new violations. My hand-painted Voss Vineyard sign too rustic. My irrigation system, a safety hazard. They even claimed my dog, Rusty, a lazy golden retriever, was a public nuisance for barking at their van. I started hearing whispers from neighbors. Tom, who runs the olive grove down the road, got a similar letter. So did Maria, whose lavender farm was suddenly zoning non-compliant. None of us had ever heard of this Napa Hills HOA, and a quick check with the county showed no record of it. These guys were fakes, running a scam to bully small producers into submission. I wasn't having it. I called a meeting at my tasting room, a cozy barn strung with fairy lights. Neighbors piled in, winemakers, farmers, even old Mrs. Callahan, who grows heirloom tomatoes. We swapped stories, and the pattern was clear. Greg's crew targeted independent folks, banking on us being too busy or scared to fight back. Their fines were wired to an offshore account, and their HOA had no legal standing. It was extortion, plain and simple. But here's where it got juicy. I wasn't just any winemaker. My wines had won awards, sure, but my real clout, my blog, Voss Vines, had 200,000 followers on X, where I shared winemaking tips, Napa gossip, and the occasional spicy take on industry drama. I posted about the fake HOA, laying out their scam with screenshots of their letters. The post blew up 10,000 reposts in 24 hours. Locals chimed in, sharing their own run-ins with Greg's crew. The hashtag #WashFakeHoFraud trended. I'd poked the bear, and it felt damn good. Then came the twist. At the meeting, a quiet guy in the back stood up. Eli, a retired lawyer who'd moved to Napa for the quiet life. He'd done some digging and found that Greg Tanner wasn't just a con man. He was Gregory Tannenbaum, a disgraced real estate developer who'd fled Chicago after a fraud conviction. Eli had court records, bank trails, the works. This wasn't just a local scam, it was a calculated grift by a pro. The room erupted in gasps and curses. Mrs. Callahan threw a tomato at the wall. We were done playing nice. The climax hit on a Thursday, under a blazing sunset that turned the vineyard gold. Greg's crew rolled up, this time with a megaphone and a fake eviction notice for my entire property. They'd escalated, claiming I'd ignored their fines, and now they'd seize my land. I stood on my porch, heart pounding, as Greg bellowed through the megaphone, "Clara Voss, vacate immediately, or we'll call the authorities." That's when it snapped. I grabbed a bottle of my 2018 Cabernet, $200 a pop, and smashed it on the ground. Red wine splattered like a crime scene, soaking the dirt. "You want my land?" I shouted. "Come and take it, you fraud." The neighbors, rallied by my ex-posts, poured in. Tom brought his farmhands, armed with pitchforks. Maria's crew rolled up with wine barrels, ready to block the road. Even Mrs. Callahan was there, brandishing a garden hoe. Greg's smirk faltered as he saw the crowd 50 strong, faces hard with Napa grit. Then, a news van screeched up, cameras rolling. My blog post had tipped off a local station, and now this was live on the 6 p.m. broadcast. Eli stepped forward, holding up Tannenbaum's rap sheet. "You're no HOA," he said, voice steady. "You're a con man, Gregory Tannenbaum, and we've got proof." The crowd roared, closing in. Greg's goons backed up, eyes darting. One dropped his clipboard, citations fluttering like confetti. The wooden sign I'd made that morning, "HOA fraud exposed," lay in the dirt, a battle cry in paint. Greg tried to bolt, but the news crew blocked his van. The cameras caught everything: his panic, the crowd's fury, the wine-stained ground. X lit up with live clips, and Eurowa's fake hoe fraud hit national trends. By nightfall, the sheriff arrived not for me, but for Greg. Turns out, Eli had tipped off the feds, who'd been hunting Tannenbaum for years. Handcuffs clicked, and the crowd cheered like we'd won the Super Bowl. The fallout was seismic. Greg and his crew were charged with fraud, extortion, and racketeering. The story went viral. CNN, the New York Times, even a Netflix docuseries pitch. My vineyard became a symbol of resistance. Dubbed Rebel Vines by the press, sales spiked. My 2018 Cabernet sold out in days. But the real win, the community. We formed a real alliance, not some fake HOA, to protect Napa's small producers. Eli's now our unofficial lawyer, and Mrs. Callahan's tomatoes are on every local menu. The lesson hit hard: mess with a winemaker, and you'll get the whole valley. Karma's a bottle of red, and it pours heavy. Greg thought he could bully us, but he didn't know Napa's heart fierce, rooted, and unbreakable. I still see that shattered bottle in my dreams, a reminder that sometimes you gotta break something to build something stronger. What's your take? Ever faced a bully like Greg? Drop your story below. I'm all ears.